Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. But they could find no occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains, have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that it be not changed, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber towards Jerusalem, he kneeled down upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, King, O king, that the law of the Medes and the Persians is that no decree or statute which the king establishes may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, where do we go? Okay. He will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were there instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said unto Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? Can you imagine his shock? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel and has shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel out of the den. And so Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. Because he believed in his God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives, and the lions had the mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces before ever they came at the bottom of the den. Then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, Peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivereth and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Father God, as we look at this story that almost seems like a fairy tale, God, but it's the truth. It's what you've done, God. You did this for Daniel. And so, Father, I pray that you will open this word up for us today, God, that you will help us to understand what you're saying to us. And God, help us to create inside of ourselves godly habits, Father, that we will not recant on, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And we ask this power to do this, Almighty God, from you. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Okay, I get a little fired up every time I read this, especially when I start thinking about what forming a spiritual habit looks like. But what I start thinking about is when heaven comes to fight for us, guys. Heaven comes to fight for us. He sent the light of the angels. Man, I love that. We'll get there in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. But it starts with a conviction. It starts with conforming a spiritual habit, learned or self-taught, starts with forming a spiritual habit. Now, when Daniel knew that the documents were signed, so he already knew that those documents were signed. He knew they signed them. He knew the king had put the seal on it. He knew. He was not taken by surprise. He went into his house. Now, in his roof chamber, his windows were open toward Jerusalem. He continued to get down on his knees 3 times a day, praying and giving thanks before his God, as he had been doing previously. This was a habit. This was something he did continually. In the King James Version that we just read, it said, as he had done aforetime, meaning he had been doing this. It was a habit of his. And so he got down on his knees 3 times a day, praying and giving thanks before his God, as he had been doing previously. Then by agreement, these men came together and found Daniel praying and making requests before his God. Now, these other men knew of Daniel's habit. Obviously, his habit was not a secret. His habit had become a lifestyle. He built this habit into himself. Notice his windows are open towards Jerusalem. That marked him. That marked him. Bad habits can be hard to break, guys, and good habits can be hard to stick to. But if we will stick to them, the longer, the more grounded. But now Daniel needed help. He needed strength to continue unwaveringly in his service and his prayer to God Most High. And he needed it from God 3 times a day, facing Jerusalem. And having that mark on him, that he was a servant of God. Notice that it says his God. It wasn't their God. They didn't claim this God yet. But he had been doing this, but it's not something that he did out of fear because they were wanting to destroy him. They hated him. They'd always hated Daniel. He had favor on him. Remember what the word says then in verse 6. Then this Daniel, notice every time he talks about Daniel, it'll say this Daniel, this one that God covered, this Daniel, because of the extraordinary spirit within him, began distinguishing himself among the commissioners and the satraps, and the king planned to appoint him over the entire realm. David was an Israelite captive. He was drugged there, brought there in captivity as a very young person, and he was raised up by the king. And now these other governors are seeing that he's their equal. That gulled them to start with. And now he has an excellent spirit on him, and even the king notices it, and the king wants to raise him above them. And have you ever been in that position? It's not a feel-good kind of position. But Daniel has an excellent spirit on him, and so it's seen by everybody. The Bible says that he was extraordinary. Would you love to say somebody say about you, you're extraordinary, or that to be your legacy? They were extraordinary because of their character, because of the habits that they had in serving their God. Wow, I would. Healthy habits have great rewards. Now, there's lots of reasons why we build healthy habits into our lives, and it's for a reward, something that comes out in the end. Sometimes healthy habits they bring a sense of self-worth and of accomplishments. And there's all kinds of habits that we build into our lives. Sometimes we might start a habit to be stronger, healthier, smarter, more successful, beautiful, ripped. You guys go to the gym so you can be all stacked up there. There's an infinite amount of reasons why we start habits, aren't there? There's a lot of them. Habits require consistent practice, and they can take a little or a lot of time to become automatic. But as I said, the longer, the more grounded. The longer, the more grounded. But healthy habits have great rewards, and that's the reason we do a habit. It's for even a bad habit. Even a bad habit. We do a bad habit for the reward. There's like smoking cigarettes. We get addicted to that nicotine, so we have that reward of the nicotine when we smoke. There's all kinds of bad habits, but they have a reward. It doesn't mean that reward is good for you. Listen at verse 4. Then the other two commissioners and the satraps began trying to find a reason to bring a complaint against Daniel concerning the administration of the kingdom. But they could find no reason for an accusation or evidence of corruption because he was faithful, a man of high moral character and personal integrity, and no negligence or corruption of any kind was found in him. So his co-workers couldn't stand him. They searched diligently to find some kind of accusation to bring to the king against them, to knock him down in the sight of the king. They didn't want him holding a high presence in the king's sight. They looked diligently to find something. But it was in his day-to-day life. Notice his professional life. The commissioners and the satraps began trying to find a reason to bring a complaint against him concerning the administration of the kingdom in his day-to-day life. But they could find no fault in him. It's bad enough that this Israelite captive is their equal, but the king recognizes his integrity, and he is about to place him over them. And they are not liking it. He's got some righteous habits. The Bible says personal integrity, faithfulness, no negligence or corruption was found in him. Who do you know that can be said of? In their day-to-day life, in their everyday go to work, everyday professional, everyday life. It's not talking about his spiritual life. It's talking about his day-to-day, everyday life. He's carrying his spiritual life into his everyday, day-to-day, professional life. And they're searching for something to accuse him with, and they can find nothing. Nothing. That's amazing. Because here they are, top tier in the hierarchy under the king. He's a slave, he's a captive, he's been brought up among them, but they can find nothing against him in his day-to-day life. Healthy habits have great rewards, don't they? When we build healthy habits into our life, we reap great rewards, and usually it's favor. Favor. Favor from people, favor from the people around us, favor Are they negligent? Should we as Christians be the best employer, the best employee our employer has? Absolutely. We should not have any negligence or corruption of any kind. And Daniel was that man. None was found in him in his day-to-day life. He had these righteous habits. But sometimes habits can be a hindrance, can't they? But for whom? Habits can be a hindrance, but for whom? Let's talk about the other side of this story here. When I look at the characteristics of Daniel's accusers and the habits that they have built and display in their life, I quickly see that they were manipulators. That just stands out to me. In roles of authority and abusing their powers, that they were manipulators, liars, and deceivers, full of jealousy, and very selfish. I want to be in charge and have the presidents. What they want to have charge of the end result. So we create good habits for the reward that we get from them. They're manipulating situations to bring about a certain ending. The same thing of Daniel cannot be said of these men. That's not good moral character. So I see the habit of manipulating people in situations to obtain a self-centered outcome regardless of the effect to others. And we could go on here, but let's move on. In their day-to-day public lives, do you notice the contrast in their habits? And we can call them character traits, but they're habits. Because once you start manipulating people and controlling situations, you know what happens? You got to keep manipulating people and controlling situations because you know what happens? If you don't, they start finding out that previously you had been manipulating and controlling situations and outcomes. So you'll find that people who are manipulators, they have a habit of manipulating the situation, don't they? But look what it says in verse 5. Then these men said, "We will not find any basis for an accusation against this Daniel unless we find something against him in connection with the law of his God." Okay, so they couldn't find nothing in his day-to-day life. So now they're going to go checking out his religious life. But we already know that they are very well aware of his activities and his personal habits concerning God. They even knew that he prayed 3 times a day, didn't they? So here they go. They're like, we're going to have to find it against their God. Now, Daniel's habits of prayer, they could have seemed like a hindrance to his position. They could have seemed like a hindrance even to his life. They were setting Daniel up to be destroyed by his loyalty to his God. And because of his habits of righteousness, they thought to trap him. I wonder how long they had been deceiving the king and the people that were employing them with their unrighteous habits. Could it be that their habits had become noticeable? Maybe the king considered their habits and Daniel's habits, and that's why Daniel was found to be having an excellent spirit. Do you ever get tired as a Christian of being surrounded by people who are manipulative, who are liars, who have habits of, well, genuinely ungodly habits and characters? But look what happens. When you're surrounded by those kind of people, you shine. You shine in their attempts to manipulate and move things and control things. You shine. We shine. That's why he said Daniel had an excellent spirit. Daniel was honest. Daniel was truly for the king's best interest. Daniel truly did for others more than he did for himself. Daniel had an excellent spirit, a good spirit, but he was surrounded by people. See, there's 3 of them, if you notice. He's one of them, so that the other 2 are now conniving to destroy him. But here is shining forth. Are you guys getting this? We live in a tough world, don't we? It's dark. We're surrounded with people that are always trying to make things hard on us. Always trying to find us in a fault. Always trying to catch us. They're setting Daniel up to tear him down. To people today, do they have unrighteous habits that they try to hide? Sure they do. I can have a conversation with somebody and it becomes pretty obvious that they're trying to hide the fact that they cuss a lot. Because there's still guys today who don't want to cuss around women, you know? And so I notice when I come into the room or into the conversation, the language changes. And I wonder when I leave, woo, I bet it changed again. You know, but our habits tell on us. Perhaps for the most part, we're aware of our personal bad habits. And that's why we try to start setting goals and to create a good habit to replace the ones considered to be a bad habit. And I'm going to dare to say this. We all have bad habits. We all have good habits, but we all have bad habits. At some point in our life, we have to realize whatever it is we're doing something, we have a bad habit, and we need to change it. So we need to change that habit and make it a good habit. Did Daniel, were these habits learned? Probably. But I bet a lot of them were self-taught. Why would I say that? Because he was taken in his youth. So he remembered who his God was. And he built habits into his life so that he would never forget who his God was. Thus the windows were opened toward Jerusalem when he knelt and prayed. That alone told them what God he prayed to. He had never left his God. They changed a lot about Daniel. They changed his name. They changed everything about him. But they could not change the God he served. He couldn't change his heart towards his God. Godly habits take unwavering commitment. Unwavering commitment. How many times has the tempter showed up to entice you to forego your good habit? Just this once. Just once. Maybe a family member shows up at just the right time to derail you from making church service. And so you stay back with them. Instead of recognizing the divine opportunity and bringing them with you. Do you not realize now that all your family members realize and think they take precedence now over your God? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe you've never thought about that or thought about it like that. But that's how people think. But perhaps you missed a divine opportunity to bring them into the house of the Lord instead of staying back with them. Now when Daniel knew that the document was signed, he went into his house, into his roof chambers. His windows were open toward Jerusalem. He knew they had signed the document that was going to cost him his life. But you know what? There were a lot of people in Jerusalem that signed that document, or that read that document, that heard that document. But Daniel knew it was going to cost him his life. I think everyone was pretty sure he'd choose God. That he would choose God most high. But they were holding their breath to see, what would he do? What will Daniel do? You understand that they had to make the same offering to the king. Pray to him only. No matter what God they serve, now they're praying to this king, this man, 3 times a day. And if they don't, it's going to cost them their life. Think about what's going on in our world today. And this king who says, that he's going to have you put to death, put in the lion's den. I don't know about you, but I don't want thrown in the lion's den. That would have spooked me. But don't you realize that there were people out there wondering what they should do? And maybe they were needing someone to show them the way. And believing that Daniel was faithful, knowing. See, if those other two guys knew that Daniel was opening that window up and praying to God in heaven, a lot of people knew that Daniel, they might not ever even talk to him about it. But they knew. And they knew when the decree went out, Daniel was dead duck. But just like us, we judge our people in authority over us, so we know the situation, and sometimes we know it better than they do. So the people were like that around him. And they're watching. And they're trying to see, what if it was me? He didn't close the windows. He hid nothing. His home showed what his habits were. He faced Jerusalem, and they hated him for what that represented, by the way. But faithful Daniel, this Daniel believed, and he loved not his own life. Habits require consistent practice. Habits require consistent practice. And when you have that kind of a practice and that kind of a faith in God, something's going to move for you. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? O king, we will not bow before you. And he may not deliver us, but we know that he's able. He may not deliver us, but we know that he's able. Daniel knew that God was able to do whatever he wanted to do. He'd been taken a slave. He'd been raised up. And now he's up at the head of authority and about to be placed over everybody except the king. And they're trying, his enemies are trying to destroy him. You got any enemies out there trying to destroy you? But God's about to blow the minds of everybody watching, including those with the unrighteous habits, because everybody's watching those windows. Godly habits take sacrifice. Godly habits take sacrifice. When we place our loyalty and our faith in God, the outcome belongs to God. It belongs to God. I put my faith in you, I put my trust in you, and now the outcome belongs to you. Those good habits you've been displaying for so long but seem so insignificant, you know, the ones that are pleasing to God. He sees you. He sees you. He saw Daniel. And they weren't looking very positive right about that time in this story. But he was not willing to recant. No backsliding in him. Sometimes it's a sacrifice. Maybe the family member or the friend you would not allow to take precedent, who has been really hard on you because you wouldn't stay back. You went to church anyway and just left them standing there. Maybe they're watching you. Maybe they need to see what your faithfulness, what is that all about? But what about the ones who saw your faithlessness and recognized your sacrifice? Then the king gave a command, and Daniel was brought and thrown into the den of lions. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you constantly serve," even the king knew he constantly served him. Daniel hid nothing. "Rescue you himself." A stone was brought and laid over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the signet rings of the nobles, so that nothing would be changed concerning Daniel. You know the guys that talked the king into it because it was a decree and it couldn't be changed. Well, they went out there, the king had them put their signet ring on that thing too, so that Daniel could not be brought out of there. I think that was a God thing. May the God whom you constantly serve. He had served him faithfully all the time. Nothing the king could do could change him. Daniel wouldn't even eat the king's food. But the king showed him favor. He had been shown favor the whole time. He said, "May he rescue you himself." And that stone was brought, and when they put those signet rings on there, his fate was sealed. His fate was sealed. So everybody watching thought, would you have thought it was sealed? What would we have been thinking if we would have saw that? His fate was sealed. It looked like his habits weren't worth much. Even the king could not stop or could not sleep while Daniel was in that den. He went back. He wouldn't let him play music. He wouldn't let him do nothing. He couldn't sleep. Daniel's in that den. But I'm thinking, I'm believing that they're thinking, what if that Daniel's God could rescue him in a lion's den? I have this idea that those were some starving lions, because those are some manipulative people surrounding him with some really bad habits. I'm going to think that they went on down there and said, don't you feed that lion. See, they had 30 days. He said, don't you feed those lions. Let them starve. They're about to have a meal. His fate was sealed. The habits of the wicked are pretty evident again. They knew they'd framed Daniel and that he was lion food. Yeah. So you can believe he had the animal keepers starve him. Then the king was greatly, but then it says that the king went down and said, oh, Daniel, where did I lose that at? Well, maybe I don't have it there. Anyway, I have it here. He says, then the king was greatly pleased and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the den. So Daniel was taken out of the den, and no injury whatsoever was found on him, because he believed in and relied on and trusted in his God. The king then gave a command, and those men who had maliciously accused Daniel were brought and thrown into the den of lions, they, their children, and their wives. And before they reached the bottom of the den, the lions had overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Guys, they didn't even make it to the floor of the den. To them, lions had just crushed them. And notice what your habits do to the people around you. Good or bad. They didn't throw them in there by themselves. They threw their wives and their children in there with them. How would that make you feel? But you know what? I'm imagining, I'm believing that their women and children were very manipulated too. Because that was their habit, to manipulate and to control the outcome of situations. Daniel's was to believe in the God who can, and to do it the Lord's way, so that God had to control the outcome, not me. He's a lot smarter than I am. He's a lot stronger. And to me, that was evidence that those lions were truly starved. But God came through. God came through. Godly habits have heavenly benefits. Godly habits have heavenly benefits. Then the king arose at dawn, at the break of day, and hurried to the den of lions. When he had come near the den, he called out to Daniel with a troubled voice, and the king said to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you constantly serve, been able to rescue you from the lions? Then Daniel spoke and said, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel. Come on. We're all the time talking about we've got our own personal angel, and there's angels surrounding us. But do you believe that God sends angels to fight for you? Heaven comes to fight for us. They came down there and held the mouths of them lions shut. They were starving beasts. It's no telling how long it had been since they'd eaten. I raised pack dogs, German shepherds, in a pack, wolves in a pack, lions in a pack. They have a tendency to excite each other. When one starts, it excites each other until they're all in it, all in. Those lions were not very nice. But, oh king, my God, that Daniel said, my God has sent an angel. Heaven fights for us. I believe we have heavenly benefits when we build into our personas godly habits. Daniel's godly habits much to nobody. Why is that man open that windows to Jerusalem, pray 3 times a day? Do you know what they're thinking? He's still a slave. Of course, he's been elevated up there, and he don't live like no slave. But he's still a captive. He's never been set free. So what is that praying? What good is that doing him? Do you ever feel that way? Do you feel like people look at you and think, well, what good does it do you to pray? What good does it? It's because of the outcome. We can't control that's God's. We've given it to Him. We trust Him. And when we go through the fire, He's there. When we're thrown in the lion's den, He's there. It's the outcome. It's God. He still saves. God has not forgotten how to save us. God has not forgotten that He has an army of angels that He will send at and to rescue His children. He's God Almighty. The king had observed His faithfulness a long time. That's why he dared to see if God had rescued Daniel. He couldn't sleep that night thinking, will that Daniel's God rescue him? Couldn't sleep at all. Why? He's been witnessing Daniel all these years, and God had taken care of Daniel in many ways. But now, can He save him from the lion's den? His fate being sealed. King couldn't sleep. But God had sent an angel. And Daniel, he's still in the lion's den with the lions. And he's hollering up, "Oh, King, live forever." Can you imagine? I'd be scared. I don't know if I'd have a voice to scream back up at him. "Oh, King, live forever." He's blessing the king. And he's in a den of lions. Oh, hallelujah. Are y'all getting this? What about those that had been watching from far off? Do you think that they had a new take on His faithfulness? Do you think that they had a new take on His habits? I wondered how many people started opening their windows to the east and praying, or to Jerusalem and praying after that time. What a witness, what a testimony of God hollering up, "Oh, King, live forever." And what about the ones who's watching with the bad habits? They did not have a good outcome. That was not a good outcome. We learn habits and we teach ourselves habits, good or bad. Some people never had a godly example. What about the people that they never had a godly example? Now Daniel had one for a time. I don't know how old he was when he was taken. But he had a godly example. What about those that never had a godly example? Those are the people that have to teach themselves good godly habits, aren't they? Where would they get good godly habits? From the people in church. All eyes on you. And from the Word of God, the same place where we get them. The Word of God. The Word of God helps us teach ourselves good habits. The Holy Spirit helps us understand, okay, now we need to create another habit. We need to create another habit. Got to get rid of that old habit, replace it with a new habit, a godly habit, a good habit. Man. But through the Word of God, they taught themselves godly habits. Daniel chose faithfulness no matter the temptation. No matter the temptation. Can you guys come and do that song again as well? Man, that's good. Is it well with you? What about your habits? Have you created in yourself some good habits? Some godly habits? Are you working towards creating in yourself new godly habits? I don't think we're ever going to reach an age in this lifetime that we're not changing something about ourselves and becoming more Christ-like, or building habits inside of ourselves that are going to keep us walking in a closer relationship with our Lord. I need good godly habits to keep me in contact with the King daily. Starting in the morning and all through the day, Daniel prayed 3 times faithfully. They knew where to go look when they wanted to bring a charge against him. They couldn't bring a charge against him in his day-to-day life. They tried. But he had an excellent spirit. That excellent spirit we can build in ourselves through godly habits. Habits of studying our Bibles. habits of prayer, habits of worship. Not just when we're in church, but when we're at home by ourselves. Praying, worshiping, blessing the Lord. Will you stand to your feet? They're going to sing this song for us again. I want you to ask yourself, is it well with your soul? Are there some things that you want to build into your character? Some habits, some new habits you want to create? God can help you with that. God can help you with that. We can't do them on our own. Daniel didn't do it on his own. We need the help of the Lord, the help of the Holy Spirit. We need good, godly habits. And here's where you can get your help. Let's sing this song.